There's room enough at the table for me and you, my girl.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, my dear.
Yes.
Appreciate you much.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Y'all have a good day.
Talk to you later. All right, y'all. News is next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Super Bowl 60 is set. The Patriots will face the Seattle Seahawks February 8th in Santa Clara, California. Here's New England's offensive tackle, Morgan Moses.
Man, I got in the locker room and I called my sons. They were crying on the phone. Man, everything that we put together in April, starting this thing, to be here right now, it's going to be a good one.
New England beat Denver in the AFC, while Seattle topped the Rams to reach the Super Bowl for the first time since Super Bowl 49. A Minnesota judge refused to sign a complaint against Don Lemon over protest at a St. Paul, Minneapolis church. A source says Attorney General Pam Bondi was enraged, but the DOJ could still pursue charges. And former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore made another court appearance last week. As his criminal case continues, Moore faces charges tied to an alleged inappropriate relationship and was fired in December. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. If you missed Taco Tuesday.
Gerod, guess what day it is?
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Hump day.
I don't even know why we play with him.
I don't know. But look, he's fun to play with. He's fun to
just
play
hump
with.
day.
He was right on time with the block is hot earlier.
Right.
I got to give it to him.
That's all you had?
That's all I had.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let him have that one.
Well, I have to say,
Thank
I
you,
really
Wes.
do commend the citizens of New Orleans East because they did not want that plant out by them.
Yeah.
But it ain't over.
And but let me tell you something. They raised enough hell and expressed enough concerns regarding how that was going to impact this residential neighborhood that they got the city council's attention to issue the moratorium. So I commend them for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just shows us all that if we pay attention and we fight back and we get politically active and we, raise our voices when we don't like what's going on, that we can accomplish great things.
Are we online? Are we back? You back?
I'm trying to get it back. I keep
Okay.
refreshing Facebook.
All right, my folks on Facebook, please bear with us.
But at any rate, I really do commend them. They did a stellar job, and I commend the city council for listening to your constituents and for issuing the moratorium.
I still ain't got the gist of how this even happened in a residential neighborhood. And then it was promoted by television as well as everybody else to be in Little Woods.
It happened because people were not initially paying attention and somebody thought they could slip it by. But the citizens of New Orleans East did not allow it to slip by. I have to say that New Orleans East Neighborhood Advisory Committee, they are on top of it. They know everything happening in New Orleans East and they jump on it immediately. And all of those neighborhoods band together to get the attention of the city council.
All right, let's go to the phone lines here because joining us now, the man that knows all and knows where all the bones are buried. Jabari is on the line with us. Jabari.
Gerard, what's going on?
Oh, man, the block is hot around here.
So speaking of bones, I definitely am coming with some intel today.
All right.
Let me pour the tea. Let me get my cup. Okay, I'm ready.
We got Suzette with us today, too.
How you doing, Suzette?
I'm doing great. I love it when you call in, Jabari. Educate us.
So the mayor is either en route, will be en route, or already is in Washington, D.C.,
right,
attending the U.S. Conference of Mayors winter meeting. So she didn't go just for Washington Mardi Gras. She's also at USCM. So the question, number one, the question is, how does this affect her? Because when she came in,
I thought you did a travel ban.
she did. She signed 13 executive orders, including one about a non-essential travel ban.
Right.
Now, the Washington Mardi Gras piece, you can say she can use campaign dollars to pay for that. But representing the city of New Orleans as our mayor is an official capacity thing at the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
You know, I would think that she's probably the guest of prominent attorney Rico Alvendia, who is the outgoing king of Washington Mardi Gras. And when he was the king last year, he invited numerous judges and political officials as his guests to Washington Mardi Gras.
But you had not heard of a standard that is you cannot do travel on city's dime if it's not in the capacity of helping the city. Am I right in that, Jabari?
Look, she issued the ban, and now she looks like she's violating it.
Yeah, let me clear this up for a minute. So the sticking point is more so the conference, the United States Conference of Mayors winter meeting. That's the one in which she is going in her official capacity, but she also signed a non-essential travel ban. So that begs the question, is now traveling to the United States Conference of Mayors an essential travel? And if that's the case, then why for the past X amount of years did the council, the former council, and then members of the media chastise Mayor Cantrell every time she left to go to this same very conference?
You raise an excellent point. Because every time Mayor Cantrell went, she was criticized.
Yeah. And even I've not seen a press release on the fact that she's gone. And historically, as you guys know, mayors put out press releases when they leave town saying where they're going, why they're going, and all that. I haven't seen anything, nor have I seen any media coverage of the fact that she left, not just for Washington Mardi Gras. That's a separate thing. That's a political thing. I'm speaking to the official capacity thing, which is USCM. Because then
so you've seen no press release, no information of saying that this is where we're going or this is what's expected, nothing. You just get on the plane and leave.
I've not seen anything. The only reason I was able to find this is because a part of my old capacity, I was the former mayor's point person for USCM, and I have friends there. And then I was like, let me go look at the agenda, and then let me go look at the registered mayors. And on both documents, it says Mayor Helena Moreno. So who paid for the conference? Who paid for her to travel to D.C.? See, this is one of those that seems very commingled. And, I mean, Suzette's the lawyer. I don't know, but this is one of those, it seems like it's very gray on who paid for what and what's non-essential, what's essential, what did the campaign pay for, what did the cid pay for? Do she have executive protection with her? Obviously, campaign can't pay for that, so did the city pay for that, NOPD? Did any staff go with her?
Her executive protection is OPSO.
Well, I tell you what, I know this. About a week ago, there was a dinner held for her with several of her, I guess, high-level donors, $10,000 a plate. Looked like about 50 seats at the table.
Yep.
I don't know where that money went to, but that was hosted at a private home.
There's a private function. But, I mean, that's just to recoup your money you spent for the campaign.
But he raises a great question.
What I'm speaking to is official capacity, official duties.
But I'm wondering, Jabari, how does that happen without notification? That's number one. Number two, without press. And then number three, because there's been nobody in this city saying that she was going. No press, no radio, no television. I haven't heard it. And then the other part of it is I could have sworn that there was a executive order that was signed that said no travel while we're in this crunch that we're in for any official that's not on official capacity for doing business for the city.
I guess they're going to say this is official business of the city of New Orleans.
But it says the executive order speaks to non-essential travel.
But wouldn't this be classified as non-essential travel? You ain't gotta go.
If they argue that it is essential, then all the travel the last 7.5 years that Mayor Cantrell did going to U.S. Conference of Mayors conferences should also be considered essential travel, and begs the question why all the hoopla over the last 7.5 years.
Right.
And what Jabari
nobody's
is referring
saying
to is Executive Order HM 2612 regarding non-essential travel. It's the home rule charter of the city of New Orleans that they're relying upon. And it says non-essential travel in the office of the mayor. It is hereby expressly ordered that the provisions for travel for essential business shall apply to officials within the office of the mayor, including the mayor and the deputy mayor. This order shall not be construed to imply a limit on the applicability of other CAO policies to the office of the mayor or limit the applicability of any existing CAO policy. It was issued on January 12th of 2026, and it does state that non-essential travel during the current financial crisis must be dramatically curtailed to restore public trust and to ensure that public funds are being carefully conserved. But it doesn't define what non-essential travel is or what essential travel is.
Correct. And then, another point
that's my question, though, Jabari. What would be classified as essential travel?
The executive order does not say that, but the policy is it's saying that during this current financial crisis, it needs to be dramatically curtailed.
But I would ask Jabari, is this since you were part of the last administration for the last 7-8 years, was there big hoopla that came out of this if Mayor Cantrell at that time went to any of these DC Mardi Gras?
Yeah. So let me be clear. The DC Mardi Gras is a separate piece. The sticking point is the U.S. Conference of Mayors conference that she's at, that she is a registered attendee to, which puts her there in her official capacity, which would then leverage using city tax dollars, city dollars to get her there and for her stay and everything associated with that. So
and there was big hoopla about that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Consistently it was. And then to what Suzette was referencing, the executive order basically says that there's currently a ban, for everyone else prior to her signing that, for non-essential travel. That executive order just said it added that the mayor and her office and deputy mayors should be included in that as well.
Now, essential travel for a mayor generally includes activities directly related to official municipal business, such as representing the city at government functions, responding to emergencies, securing funding, or participating in required intergovernmental meetings. I don't think it's required for a mayor to attend that conference.
No, it's not.
I also don't think it would be linked to securing funding, nor would it be linked to responding to an emergency.
So the conference does offer up grant dollars, but I'm not aware of the city of New Orleans or the mayor receiving any grant dollars on behalf of the city of New Orleans this year. Based on the agenda, her only role officially is as a panelist on a panel specific to new mayors. She's going to sit on a panel alongside the new mayor of Detroit, the new mayor of Miami, and
So that might put her in her official capacity.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that attending a meeting with state or federal officials to benefit the city. I think they're going to call that a governmental affair.
So to that point, then, why all the hoopla over the 7 years of Mayor Cantrell's travel to the same conference and their various iterations of it throughout the years?
Well, if it's the same conference, there should have been no criticism of Cantrell, or there should be criticism of Moreno for doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And then what was discussed on this panel as far as new mayors?
It just said that's just the agenda title, new mayors. So we don't know until it happens. It's scheduled for tomorrow morning.
Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Yeah. So, either you can't criticize Cantrell for it, or you have to criticize Moreno for it, because it should be even-handed.
So the one thing that also needs to be noted is the mayor, as mayor-elect and during the election season, spoke about when she leaves, notifying the New Orleans City Council that she's leaving the city, and saying that when she returns, she'll present whatever information, details, and what was the benefit to the city. So my question is, rhetorically, will that happen?
Interesting, Jabari.
It is very interesting. I guess we'll have to follow the money and see who paid for it.
But, I've been on several of those different panels, different issues come up, and I can't make them. And then the next question comes out is, well, we got a great sound crew or staging or folks that do the video. How about a Skype, or how about a Zoom? And we can put you on the big screen. So I wonder, could that have been done?
Well, I guess we're going to have to look at a few things. We're going to have to see whether she traveled first class, whether she traveled in the regular seats,
and
who traveled with her,
right?
Who paid for it. I mean, if we're going to give the same level of scrutiny, I think all of those are legitimate questions to ask.
Yeah. Jabari, we got to look into that one.
Please do.
What else you got? I know that ain't all you got. I know you got some more. Come on.
Nah, that's it. So I really was gonna stop and lay off. I'm moving in a different direction personally, but
nah, man, I get on your Instagram all the time, and I see all the hits you're getting. So I'm sorry, bro, because look, folks paying attention to your Instagram.
Yeah, the Pom Pom Squad, wouldn't let me retire in peace. So I said, you know what? Let me hit them with a little tidbit before I go.
Well, I think we do need to do a deep dive into that.
Yeah.
And see, get all those questions answered with respect to this travel.
Yeah. We'll do that, and we'll bring you back on and have that conversation then. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Sure, no problem.
All righty, brother. That's interesting though. But did you know? You didn't hear anywhere in the news that she was going.
No, I didn't hear that anywhere.
Bruce.
Yes. How you doing?
Good.
Great. You know what I've been wondering about the budget, and this keeps going through my head. The thoughts just won't go away.
What's that?
Is that last year, New Orleans had 3 major events here.
Mm-hmm.
And those events caused the police to have to work overtime. And I was wondering, shouldn't that have been included in the budget? Also, how much money did the city make from the Super Bowl? How much money did the city make from just?
So from what we're hearing so far from the Super Bowl, that the city, the state made a killing, but the city only made about $8 million. Now, as far as what has happened with the Super Bowl and overtime, yes, the city had police that ended up making more money because they had to go into overtime. And I know you're talking about the big other 3 events, and that included what's the name? what the girl name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. But we asked the promoter to be able to help with that cost, and they said no. So they did not help with the costs for security and some other things. And don't forget, Bruce, we had a $40 million overtime payment that we had to make that was over budget, $40 million over budget with the police.
But now, the city paid for the lighting of the Crescent City not the Crescent, the Super Bowl, bridge.
Yes,
The
GNO.
lighting for the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They did that before the event came up.
Yes.
Couldn't they have known or gave an estimate of how much overtime would be needed from the police department?
So it was in my opinion, though, Bruce, this is my opinion. This is not something that is written in stone. I think that the amount of money that was missing from the budget has been known. They just didn't say it. I think that they knew it a long time ago. They just wanted to wait until after the election to say, oh, yeah, and by the way, we're $168 million over budget. And as far as the lighting is concerned for the GNO, which I thought was a very bad idea, is they spent an estimated $10 million that belongs to the city and another $10 million that belongs to the state. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about $20 million to light that bridge up for the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's still running. How come if the activities were in New Orleans, how does the state get money? How do they get the money?
So the city of New Orleans seems to be the second child, not the first child. When people come to the state of Louisiana, I don't hear them say, I think I just want to go to Shreveport, or I just want to go to Jefferson Parish. Most people that want to come to Louisiana, first thing that comes out of their mouth is they want to visit New Orleans. We are the key to a lot of the financial monies that come, but we are treated like stepchild, even though that we've got the major hotels, we got the major events, major hotels. They even put together a hotel motel tax on top of the taxes that you pay for the federal government. We have a 10% tax. So if you pay $100 for a room, there's another $10 that goes toward that. And out of that hotel motel tax, the state gets more money than we do. Out of that money, now listen to this, and this is how it's been, and I don't know why they haven't changed it. The city of New Orleans, out of that hotel motel tax, only gets $1.25.
According to LSU's College of Business and Louisiana Economic Development, the 2025 Super Bowl in New Orleans generated $1.25 billion for the state. And that included hotels, restaurants, transportation, retail, entertainment, event staffing, media operations, logistics, security, and hospitality services. And the state and local tax revenue generated $82.7 million. This is actual tax money collected, not estimates. And approximately 50 to 55 million of that 82.7 million went to the state, and 27 to 32 million went to local governments, like the city of New Orleans, parish, and tourism agencies, etc.
We only got $8 million.
Right. How do you like that?
No.
So let me ask you this. This is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like, just like you said, Gerard, they knew that they were over budget.
Mm-hmm.
But because they knew that so much money would be going to the state, that they would go in, that they would allow this to happen so that they could go borrow the money from them?
No.
Getting the money back?
I think that they knew that this was happening. I think that, when
they wanted to win that election.
We want to make sure that the election is not interfered with first. Mm-hmm. And they didn't tell it until after the election. After everybody got their position, then that's when, by the way, we want to tell you about this money missing.
And then they tried to blame Cantrell.
And then they blame the
right,
old
exact.
administration.
Oh, boy, them some cold soldiers,
Yep.
boy.
All right, Bruce, I got to take
cold
my
soldiers. All
take
right,
my break
thank you.
here. Appreciate you, boss. Thanks for
Thank
calling.
you.
All right,
Yes,
more
sir.
coming up in just a minute, y'all. We got to take a break.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. All-time tennis great Serena Williams is channeling her competitive spirit into investing. But this is nothing new for Williams. Williams tells Bloomberg that being a part of business and finance was something she's carried with her through her playing days on the tennis court.
You know, it wasn't for me just about going out there and hitting tennis balls and winning. Obviously, that was the biggest part of it, but it was also really about being a business, being an entrepreneur. And at the time, when I was doing all this, there was lots of things and lots of people saying that you have to focus only on tennis, that you can't do other things, you can't have this other stuff, you can't be an entrepreneur, you can't think about other businesses, you really just have to do tennis. And I pushed that envelope and I said, you know what, that's not me.
Serena Williams speaking to Bloomberg at the American Business Forum in Miami recently. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Pardon me if I'm not surprised that the state of Louisiana has put the kibosh on DEI. Governor Jeff Landry says he wants to return to the way it used to be. Hell, the way it used to be? Does that include slavery and Jim Crow laws? Landry insists his reasoning for removing the diversity, equity, and inclusion language from state civil service hiring policy is to shift the focus back to strict merit-based employment, as if there was such a thing ever. Landry and other hard right-wing Republicans are of the belief that DEI hinders true equal opportunity, favoring unqualified minorities and others over otherwise well-deserving whites. Civil rights proponents argue that DEI policies exist and are necessary because the playing field was never equal in the first place. Moreover, that removing such policies will only increase barriers for marginalized citizens attempting to gain fair access to public employment. Now, I'm old enough to remember what it was like prior to the passage of the Civil Rights Act, when African Americans were still being subjected to centuries-old systemic discrimination and exclusion that left blacks and women underrepresented in the education and job field. It's indisputable that the United States has a long history of discrimination. Affirmative action programs were created after the Civil Rights Movement to counteract such discrimination. Lest we forget, it was the Trump administration that began the nationwide attack on DEI. And now with the backlash underway to seemingly undermine the progress of African Americans and other marginalized groups, I have serious doubts about whether removing DEI programs will bode well for the marginalized. I'm equally troubled by the statement made by Trump recently, alleging that whites were treated badly by the Civil Rights Act. Let that sink in. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Yes, indeed. Got to say hey to Miss Edna Jones. Miss Edna Jones got us locked in on Facebook Live. That is Gwanji's sister. Yes, indeed. Hey, Miss Edna. I need to talk to you. And how that boy doing? I was looking at some of the photos on your Facebook page. Look like he really growing up. That's Gwanji's son, by the way. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Kevin?
Hey, as always, man, thank y'all for having these conversations. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be having them, okay? Because you don't hear it nowhere else. Look, my conversation does not change, okay? It all boils down to every problem we have in this city is a reflection of the sum total of the people that live here, the citizens, okay? We're talking about how the one mayor got scrutiny and this mayor don't get any kind of scrutiny. If we don't learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it, and we repeat it over and over and over, which is the classic definition of insanity. So, saying all that to say this, we're talking about the city council and how to handle one mayor as opposed to how they're handling this mayor. Look, if you want to know what kind of representation, and I emphasize representation, because these people are not kings. The city councilman or any official in any department isn't a king. They're representatives of the citizens. If the citizens, we keep talking about black excellence. Okay, this is supposedly a minority black city. That's why I'm mentioning black excellence. We have a black college on every other other corner here, right? And we're talking about budgets when we're talking about the mayor. It seems like we're going across the board, but the bottom line is this. We're only strong as our weakest link. And if the citizens who much is given, much is expected, aren't intelligent or morally feasible enough to get together and use those big brains for pragmatic, practical, intentional purposes, judge us by our works. If these people on city council are not making the same noise that they were making with Mayor Cantrell, that shows some hypocrisy. And if they're hypocritical about that, what else are they hypocritical about? This is an absolute exposure of the character of the people in these offices, okay? Now, bottom line is this. Who are we going to replace them with? If people of goodwill, and I say black, it's not really just a black thing. Last time I noticed they got white people living here too. So this is a responsibility of them too, okay? So whenever I say focus on blacks aren't the only people living here. We all suffer the same consequences for dysfunctional representation, okay? So until we start coming together, just hang together. I'm not saying who you hang with. Just start getting to know each other. Care enough about each other to know that if we don't do this together in an elevated thought process instead of just partying and pleasure principle issues, we are never going to realize adult results to deal with the meat and potatoes of everyday life. So, look, if these people on city council aren't saying the same thing that they were saying for Cantrell, that's all we know to clean house from all of them.
Cool.
They're not fit to be in those offices because they're hypocritical.
All right, Kev.
And yeah. So the bottom line is this: people get together with someone. I don't care who you get together with, but deal with substantive issues like budgets. Like y'all mentioned, okay, couldn't the mayor do this on the big screen TV? Can't we do a whole lot of stuff without spending all this money? Don't we need these funds for our house? We should be talking about this in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about these things. How can we save money so we can spend it on our quality of life here in this city?
Okay. All right, Kev. Thank you, brother.
Man,
Appreciate
for what y'all do.
Well, let me just say this. It's a bad look and it's a bad message for city leadership to issue a travel ban and then travel during that declared travel ban while simultaneously placing city employees on furlough.
Furlough. Yep. I agree. D. Allen. Where you at, D? Call me back.
And I guarantee you, we're not just going to see pictures of her at this conference of mayors. We're going to see pictures of her at Washington Mardi Gras.
Yep, you going. Michael.
Well, thank you for taking my call. I have no idea what Kevin was talking about. That has me questioning why I'm even calling. You know what I'm saying? Black universities on every corner.
I'm sorry, bro.
Just the beginning of your statement just kind of threw us off, Michael, and has us in here laughing.
I don't know what to say after that. I mean, y'all got me colorblind here. Lord. I just want to say, I just have a short comment, and I don't know who you are, young lady. I don't know who you are yet, but I'm going to look you up. But, Gerard, I just wish we can have some positive thoughts. There's no questioning. I've flown in and out of New Orleans. The first class service out of New Orleans ain't all that. Okay? You know, you might get a little glass drink in the front. It ain't all that. And she has to sell the city. I'm proud of the city of New Orleans. I'm proud of being the fact that y'all putting up against ICE. You know, there's a lot of good things to talk about. And there's a lot of waste in the city, and the furloughs is just a first step. Give her a little grace period. Let her do what she got to do. That other California lady was in office for 8 years. Give this lady a little grace period. Thank you. And Kevin, stay off the bottom.
All right, Michael. Goodbye.
Look, I don't have anything for that. All I know is, look, I think that the caller had a legitimate concern. And the concern is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. There was a lot of criticism of Mayor Cantrell's travel. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a good thing when Mayor Moreno issued a travel ban. I thought that was a good first step, in policy. But practice what you preach. And if she's there on official business at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, okay.
Tell us
that. And tell us how you paid, who paid for the trip. That's it. And let us know you're going. But, it just so happens it's also the weekend of Washington Mardi Gras. And they hold those two conferences there simultaneously for a reason.
And as far as the good information, good news, maybe you're not watching the news. Maybe you're not watching the national news. Because I haven't seen the news, NBC, ABC, or CBS, start with anything good. All I hear is issues of what we do nationally, which sucks. ICE, the killing of folks, the killing of citizens, and
the abduction of citizens.
Right. And you're trying to make me do Mary Poppins? I'm sorry. That ain't going to work. All right, Galloway.
What's going on, Brother Gerard?
What's going on with you?
Oh, man, I'm sleeping with one eye open and one leg on the ground.
I thought you were doing the line dance with Mary Poppins or something.
No, my wife paid my life insurance for the rest of the year, so I got to sleep with one eye open. She ain't going to get rid of me that quick.
She got a finger under your nose, bro?
Yeah, probably took a lock of my hair or something. Got to watch that woman at times, man.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Hey, I tell you what, y'all putting away the ghost and get it today. I tell you what, man, from that police recruit, hey, you need to follow the money on that one also.
Mm-hmm.
That just don't happen like that. I'm dead serious. Listen, you don't have to be a United States citizen to be a police officer, just like you don't have to be a United States citizen to be a United States Marine. I know that because I was one for 20 years, and we had several people that did not even have a green card. You get your citizenship while you are in the military after you pass basic training. And some people, it takes more than 10 years to become a citizen.
Right. I got a couple of friends of mine. As a matter of fact, he is from the Philippines, and he's a police officer. His wife came with him, and she just became a naturalized citizen, and it's been 10 years.
Yes, it takes a while, man.
She just got her citizenship, but she's been working over here. She's been living over here, and he's a citizen, so now she's a naturalized citizen. But it took 10 years.
Yes. Oh, some take longer than that. Some take 15, 20.
All right.
The $10,000 plate private dinner, is that the money that she's paying for the trip, or is that the money that the DJs are getting?
I don't know where that money went, but I do know someone who was intimately involved in the planning and the hosting of the $10,000 plate dinner, down to the blue velvet chairs and the gold chargers on the table.
I wonder where that came from.
I'm telling you, they were beautiful. I mean, it was hosted by a private citizen, held at a beautiful private home, $10,000 a plate. The menu was steak and lobster
and we were looking at
gumbo.
We were looking at the photos, Galloway. I could have sworn we saw you up in there.
Mardi Gras bread pudding. It was, it was very nice. I had to know what you serve at a $10,000 a plate dinner.
Ask Galloway, he was there.
The devil's a lie. No, my brother. Man, you almost made me lose my little bit of religion that I have. No, that's a shakedown there.
And let me tell you, now we'll watch the contracts that come out after that $10,000 a plate dinner and see if the host ends up getting a very lucrative contract in the city of New Orleans. So, we're going to watch it. We're going to keep watching it and see what happens.
Hey, she's doing this stuff right in front of our face, and what she has on her side is the corporate media, WDSU, WGNO, Anola.com, all those people, they are on her side. They're not going to report on anything about this woman going on that trip. They're not going to send an investigative reporter to follow this woman around. She knows how to manipulate them also. Because once she wants to give somebody some dirt, she'll go straight to the media and get in their face to cover up her dirt.
But you know what? I would say this, Galloway, and this is something that I would say to anybody, whether we're talking to the other medias or whether we're talking to some of her staff. And it's not the fact that you went. It's the fact that you went and there has been nobody in the media, in the newspaper, no type of press release or nothing that has said that you've even left the city.
But we know why, because you just announced city furloughs and you just announced a travel ban just this same month. And then you went on a trip.
If you look at the city furloughs, look at her people. They only losing 10% of their revenue for the whole year. 10% of their check, that's all they're missing. So if I get $100,000 raise and you only take 10% on that, compared to, and I'm still keeping all my money, so I'm only losing 10%. So that furlough, the house always wins. It looks good on paper, but then people still getting paid. It ain't like that they gonna go a month or two without a paycheck. They might go a day or out of a week without getting paid.
Well, if I'm making $30,000-$40,000 a year and you taking 10% of my money, that's gonna hurt. But if I'm making $200,000 to $300,000 a year, I mean that's just a pea in the bucket. That's taxes.
Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta follow the money. The house always wins with this woman. It's just a front that she puts on. You know, that airhead said up there 2 days ago, I didn't know nothing about a data center. All of a sudden now, the folks in the East raise so much noise about it. No, it's not coming here. Gerard, that thing is coming. They just got to find the right place to put it now.
Right.
That's all they're doing. It's coming. And like I said, whoever has the contractor, whoever it is, they're going to pay enough money to make Red Bottoms be quiet, Jason Hughes gonna be quiet, and Helena gonna be quiet.
Yes, indeed.
Follow the money when it comes to this stuff. Them folks are crooked as a roach leg. Now, I can tell you this about that $10,000 dinner. No, I wasn't there. I was supposed to go to that mayor's thing in D.C. You know it's too cold for me. I said I do not do anything below the temperatures of 35 degrees, and it's gonna be like almost single digits there. So. And now I'm glad I didn't go because, man, I would have had a bad trip if I'd have looked up there and seen that little trans mayor of ours sitting up there.
Well, once
Y'all
again,
have a
I
good
missed
day.
my
Y'all way up out of here.
invitation. I missed my invitation to the $10,000 a plate dinner.
Yeah, I didn't.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know
Don't
where
worry about
my
it.
invitation didn't come either in the mail. Maybe it was because it was, slow snail mail.
I guess they don't want
What
my
about
dollars.
Wick? Wick, did you get yours?
No.
Nope.
Well, did anybody black go? Let's get it real now. Who was black that went there?
I'm gonna
Ghana
have to
took
get
ours
the
and
list.
sold it.
It was actually at a black family's home.
Wait a minute. Who was the black family?
Can't tell you on air.
Oh, boy.
That's what I'm
Somebody that
saying.
sold out
Watch
to
the
Mr. Charles.
contracts. Watch the contracts, and let's see if this particular family that hosted that event gets a contract.
Boy, y'all, boy. When you say you dropped the bomb on me, let me call my sources and find out which black family was over there. Was they dressed up in like antebellum dresses and stuff like that when they were serving the people?
We weren't invited, so we don't know.
We don't know. We just saw the setup.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, well, thank you for the information. Y'all went by here. I got to find this out.
All right,
Hold on,
Galloway.
my brothers and sisters.
All right, y'all, we got to take a break. Said, hold on. We got to take a break here real quick. We'll come back.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face.
Just moments after calling for the abolishment of ICE and demanding accountability from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was attacked at her own town hall in Minneapolis. The sound that you hear was those in attendance reacting. A man later identified as Anthony James Kosmazak walked straight down the aisle and sprayed an unknown liquid at the Congresswoman using a syringe and yelled for her to resign. He was tackled by security and arrested, charged with third-degree assault. The Congresswoman was not injured, and she insisted on continuing with the town hall. Congressional Black Caucus called the attack outrageous, warning that violent rhetoric, especially from the right, has consequences. Omar has been relentlessly targeted by President Donald Trump. Omar later said, "I've survived war, I'll survive intimidation." For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godance is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart. The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. As a trusted leader in bathroom renovation, Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. Get half off installation or 18 months with no interest and no payments. Whether it's tub replacement, a shower replacement, or a tub-to-shower conversion, Bath Planet makes your custom bath fast, easy, and affordable. Here's how it works. 1. Call to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation. 2. Our design experts come to you with real samples to customize your dream bath. 3. Our certified installers complete the transformation in as little as 1 day. And right now, for a limited time, you can upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-981-8177. That's 800-981-8177. Call 800-981-8177 right now before the offer ends.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Let's get to Sid here. He's been holding on for a minute. Sid, thanks for holding, brother. How you doing? Chad, did we lose him? He's been holding for a minute. I'm sorry, Chad.
But hold on, before you get to Pop Jones, I just want to drop some more information on people, something that I think is very important. We have received word that there was a Harvey State Office building located at 2150 West Bank Expressway in Harvey, Louisiana, that used to house the welfare office, the driver's license office, the passport office, like all these state offices.
Right down the West Bank Expressway.
Right there on the expressway.
The big brown building.
Yes, and we have now learned that there was uncapped asbestos in that building that was detected after Hurricane Ida. But they didn't tell the employees.
And y'all working there.
Right, and you're working there. And they just moved them out of the building to a Metairie office building. But now a lot of the employees who were working in that building have now developed lung cancer and throat cancer.
You sick.
So if anyone worked in this state office building, the Harvey State Office building, or if you have a friend or loved one that worked there, one, please tell them to take care of their health and go see a doctor and let a doctor know that you worked in this Harvey State Office building and you have now learned there was uncapped asbestos in that building.
Yep.
Get a chest x-ray. Make sure you don't have, any issues going on. If you have a sore throat that just won't go away, a cough that just won't go away, and you worked in this building, you really do need to go see a doctor. This can be extremely dangerous. It can be deadly.
Yep.
And we have already gotten reports of 8 people who have lung and or throat cancer that the doctors are saying were causally related to being in this Harvey State Office building. I'm going to give the address again. It was 2150 West Bank Expressway.
That is that was the license building, driver's license building, and also where you got your food stamps.
DCFS. Yes, so I really need you all to really be vigilant about this. Please pass the word about this. This is a life or death issue for hundreds of people who were working in that building.
Well, let me say this before you go. And I know that you're doing your due diligence, and I can appreciate the way that you present it. But I want these folks that if you're there, if you've been there, and because all of us have been in that building, especially if you're on the West Bank at some point in time. But what I want everybody to understand that you need to talk to not only your doctor, you need to talk to this attorney, Suzette Bagnaris. Telephone number, 504
810-3995. We will be filing a lawsuit on behalf of at least one of those workers tomorrow, as a matter of fact, to get the ball rolling. We have sent out Freedom of Information Act requests, public records information requests to all of the state entities that were in that building. And we have also asked for the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality to provide us with all the test results for that building. We've sent a request for public records to the Department of Child and Family Services, to the Facility and Planning Control, like I said, to the Department of Health, the Risk Management Office. Like, we did our due diligence today to send out all the public records requests already so we can get this information. But this, to me, is a very serious health issue for so many, because if you don't detect lung cancer early, it can be deadly. And people may just think they're sick and not know why.
And as many people that went into that building and had to spend hours daily in that building. Hell, I went to that. I had to sit there for hours when you're getting your when you're getting your driver's license. And I can imagine how many other people had to go there just to get all their stuff when they were getting their food stamps. And the number of workers that were there. I knew several folks that worked in that building as well.
And these were, a lot of them were lifetime state workers. They worked there like over 10 years,
30
right?
years.
Before they moved them to the new building in Metairie. And it's just a shame that they were not notified of this. They're finding out about it when they're going to the doctor with a health concern. That to me is just malicious.
Get a number again.
Oh, 504-810-3995. Y'all, please spread the word. I think this is such an important public health issue.
And if you think that you are, one of those that could be susceptible to this, you need to call the number. You need to call Suzette on tomorrow morning. And if she don't answer, Stacey answer, leave a number. Don't just hang up and say, I'll get back with it. Call the number and make sure that you're in good health. All right.
Seek medical attention immediately.
Yep.
If you worked in that building.
All right. We got to get out of here. Appreciate everybody for being a part of the conversation. Thank you so much, Miss Bagnaris. The number again.
Pleasure. 504-810-3995. Shout out to Big Shot 2026. I'll be at your party on Friday.
I'm not going to be there Friday, but shout out to you, brother. We'll see you tomorrow, y'all.
Be cold.
Everybody be good.